Hello and welcome to Everyday Tarot, your daily dive into the divine wisdom of the tarot. I'm your host, Camille A. Saunders, healer, tarot enthusiast, and your local witch next door. And today I'm talking about the Nine of Cups. Whether you're a seasoned tarot reader or just starting to explore, this podcast offers daily insights, intuitive messages, and practical advice drawn from the cards. Each episode is designed to help you connect with your inner wisdom, find clarity in your decisions, and tap into the energy of the universe. Tune in every day, Monday through Friday, for fresh perspectives and empowering guidance from the tarot as interpreted by me. If you love the show, the best way to support it is by listening daily, leaving a review, and subscribing or following in your favorite podcast app. You can join the Everyday Tarot Patreon family if you'd like to financially contribute to the podcast and get monthly hangouts, tarot Q&As, and more. If you're local to the greater Puget Sound, you can check out my Let's Talk Tarot meetup group events for the latest postings. If you're not local to my area, I'm having a virtual tarot card creation event on Friday, June 20th at 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. The sign up is in the show notes to sign up for that or on my website. If you're interested in my free PDF with the 2025 5-card tarot spread I created just for you at the beginning of this year, you can get that by joining my newsletter list. And if you don't already know, I'm a sex and relationships therapist seeing clients virtually all over Washington State. I love working with queer, poly, and witchy clients. If I sound like a good fit for you, you can head to my website and book a free consultation now. And you can find the links for any of these offers in the show notes or on my website, CamilleSaunders.com/everydaytarot, in addition to the images of the cards I pull. So we are here in season 9 now, where I'm talking all about the Suit of Cups, going through each card one per episode. If you haven't listened to my other seasons yet, you can check those out. I've talked tarot basics. I went through all the major arcana cards. I've talked tarot and pop culture, different spreads, and all of the other suits. So this is my final suit that I'm doing. By the end of this season, I will have gone through literally every card in the deck. Like I said, we're into season 9. We're talking about the Suit of Cups. If you want to hear an episode dedicated just to the Suit of Cups, you can check out episode 38. And today we're talking about the Nine of Cups. So if you have a tarot deck accessible, go ahead and take it out and take a look at images or symbols you see on the card. I'm looking at some of the cards in front of me, and I see sort of coziness, comfort, pleasure. I think there's a little bit of like darkness or sort of finding like where you fit in life in this card. All these cards, again, are the Nine of Cups, so we're getting towards the end of like the microcosm of the hero's journey. So the major arcana is like a long hero's journey from beginning to end. And then in each suit, we have a smaller version of that from the Ace to 10. So of course, if we're in the Nine of Cups, we're very near to the end of the journey there. In the Library of Esoterica, Tarot Book by Toshin, they talk about that the Nine of Cups is all about optimism and renewed trust, finding harmony after a difficult time, which if you listen to the Eight of Cups episode, that was part of the difficult time, also with 7. And so now we're into 9, right, where we're sort of learning from that. The Nine of Cups marks wishes fulfilled, blessings counted, and needs satiated. So that, I feel like that is that sort of like pleasure or like stability side of the card that I saw here. In the Fearless Tarot book by Elia Adam, they talk about that the Nine of Cups says that life is a banquet. It represents the fulfillment of wishes and the enjoyment of life's luxuries. It calls you back into the body and in the realm of your senses, right? Which I think like pleasure goes along with that. Finding satisfaction, pleasure. Life is offering you opportunities to accept good things. Every day you have a choice to feel passion for life or to be numb to its wonders. The table is set for you to savor your blessings. It's time for you to take your place at it. Do you allow yourself to partake in pleasures in life, or do you feel like there are too many things to worry about, so you couldn't possibly enjoy yourself now? Do you feel good about what your life is currently offering you? And if not, it's time to start, right? So that is what this card is offering us. In the Tarot and Astrology book by Karine Kenner, they talk about that the Nine of Cups here is associated with Jupiter in Pisces. So we have here, so the young priestess in the card, or the young high priestess in the card, is herself the picture of contentment, as she prepares to welcome friends for an evening of socializing. So there's also this kind of community aspect of the card. It says together they raise their glasses, right? Again, if you had 6 cups, you probably don't personally need that many. They raise their glasses to the blessings of health, wealth, and success. All the gifts they're sure to receive when Jupiter spins the wheel of fortune. They'll share their joys and celebrations, and the cups will serve as a barrier against sadness, and the contents will offer a buffer against the aches and pains of disappointment. Right, we talk about that this is associated with Jupiter in Pisces, and that in classical astrology, Jupiter wasn't just the ruler of Sagittarius as it is now. Jupiter also ruled Pisces, so that is something that has changed understanding over time, which means that Jupiter is in its dignity here, which kind of means like it's happy here. He's not visiting, he's coming home to his own sign in its own house. So there is this sort of like settling in, right, a strong connection here. And again, when you look at this card, often there is this sort of contentment that comes through, as well as the aspect of Pisces. It says the Golden Dawn designers of this card called Jupiter in Pisces the Lord of Material Happiness, because Jupiter brings plenty and prosperity to everything it touches. All right, so let's dive in and see what the cards have to say today on this topic. We're keeping it short and sweet today because I feel like that's kind of what this card is about. It is about that enjoyment, but also sort of just like settling into it, being happy with what you have, getting it towards the end of our journey, right, to the completion. Okay, I pulled the Merchant in reverse. It was interesting because I just pulled the Merchant in one of the recent episodes, but I think I pulled, no, maybe I did pull it in reverse. I'll have to check in a minute. But that would be funny if I pull the same one. I don't think that's actually happened yet while doing this podcast. So we have the Merchant in reverse. Life is full of hagglers, and there are those around you who demand and demand without offering anything in return. You're the only one who can decide what you are and aren't willing to give. Find the strength to say no when needed and use that time for yourself instead. Right, so this is telling us, right, to go and embrace what we actually want, right? This card is about that too, setting boundaries and also bringing in the people to our life that we want there, right? Chosen family, friends. It doesn't have to look like what maybe other people think or prescribe for you. You get to make that decision. All right, so links for the tarot decks I talk about will always be in the show notes and on my website. Today I went through the Therapist Who Tarot deck, the Goddess of Love, and the Anima Mundi deck, which you can check out on my Instagram or on my website to see those images. And thanks for joining me today on Everyday Tarot. Just as a reminder, the podcast comes out daily, Monday through Friday for all of 2025. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye.